And then I did a backflip, sniffed the bad guy's neck, and saved the day.
Ah, traveler, what a story. Got any more brave adventures to tell us?
Brave? Well, I did once say to some old school players that Runescape 3 is not as bad as they think. Guys, why are you coming so close? Yeah, seriously, you do not need to reenact that? Ah. Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 22 of Timeliner, my progression-locked Ironman series, where I'll be exploring the world of RuneScape one game update at a time, only with the gear and skills available up until this point. Ah, the desert. What a wonderful place full of life, fun, and friendly people. Or something along those lines. And also the poster child of April of 2005, with a total of 4 desert quests coming out over the course of 4 weeks. After getting tricked to spending some money for a lousy disguise in the previous episode, and also stopping some wild street gangs, it is time to further explore these barren lands full of ancient wonders and mysteries. I have a feeling it will also be quite the magical adventure, bringing us across the world. Of course, I'm talking about one of the most iconic quests in RuneScape, released on the 11th of April 2005, with number 76, the Golem. Ha! Bet you thought I was talking about the other one, right? No worries, that comes after. Just need to deal with the ruins of this old city of Uza first. And our quest starter is this very talkative clay golem, but he seems to be damaged and cannot give us a full breakdown of what's going on. Sure thing, nothing a few pieces of clay can't fix. There, that should do it. Good as new. And now he warns us of a great demon that had broken into the city and must be destroyed. A great number of his comrades have fallen, but managed to injure it and lock it in the ruins below. Now we need to reopen the forsaken portal through which it came to banish it once and for all. What a light-hearted starter quest. He further tells us that to open the room to the demon, we must turn some statues down below. Where's one? Pretty impossible to tell which direction it's looking at, but I suppose we turned it correctly. And 2 more. Just one missing. The residents don't seem overly talkative down here, but I think that should give us a hint. A key of sorts. Hey Golem, take a look at this. All it did was open his skull. Not very helpful and a bit gross, to be honest. Maybe we'll find a better clue scattered around here somewhere. Ooh, a letter. Good start. An excavation from the very museum. Maybe the archaeologist who sent this letter can tell us more. The dig site should be a good place to start looking for with Alyssa. Well, that was fast. She sent the letter to her late husband. While they haven't talked about the discoveries, he might have taken some personal notes. Sure, let's dig through some Deadman stuff to learn more. This is kind of ethical, right? So, what do we have here then? Local population, good with clay, building golems to defend them, a lot of god symbols everywhere. Get to the useful bits, please. Ah, there. The mighty demon Femoran came to the city during the God Wars and probably destroyed it. I reckon that's the fella the golems want to banish. Just 2 more little things. First of all, a golem can be issued commands written on papyrus with black ink from the surrounding mushrooms. And one of his statues was sent over to the museum for safekeeping. Well, we better get that back. And the director doesn't seem to mind at all. Otherwise he wouldn't have been so careless and would have protected his keys better. Yoink! There, back in its place. And the door does weird stuff. That should be good, I think. Hello, powerful demon. Anyone here? Oh, good job, golems. My work here seems to be done. Just relieving the guy upstairs of his duty for now. Apparently need to issue a command for that. Sure thing. Let's just scribble on a piece of paper that he needs to stand here and do nothing until the end of time. Glad to have been of assistance. But now it is time for the real juice of a desert update. With not really much promotion going on back then, it was surely not well anticipated, but greatly loved nevertheless. Further fleshing out the Majoret storyline, with the promise of a grand, mysterious reward for the hardest quest to date, RuneScape was graced with quest number 77, Desert Treasure. Originally developed as 4 independent quests without an overarching storyline by an intern, it turned out to be something quite special when put together. Even came with a warning not to bring your valuable items as you die a lot. Ha, such nonsense. I'd never die during a quest. There are just 2 tiny skill requirements missing. First, level 50 firemaking. Sure, I gladly train the most useful skill ever put into this game. Well, I suppose it eventually became useful, as in 2019 it was given many supporting actions. Before that, all it did was light logs. And what was it used for? That's right, quest requirements. Anyway, it's a quick skill and... Oh, what? A pet? Oh, neat. From 2016. Well, I cannot destroy you, so into the bank you go. First skill requirement done. Now, level 10 Slayer. Our open task of Ice Warriors should do the trick. Back to the desert. Ah, a fine, trustworthy bloke by the name of Icthlarins Smith calls for our attention. Of course we have heard of your archaeological prowess. I mean, who hasn't? Of course. Anyway, he has something to do for us. A quest, if you might. Or rather assistance in an ongoing excavation. He found a tablet the Varrock Museum might be very interested in. Well, let's just hope they are no longer that interested in us for taking the statue of Uza, like 5 minutes ago, but sure. Running some errands is honest work. Terry Bellando, Edward Dixside is our man. As it seems, Icthlarins Smith wasn't kidding. He actually is a well-known archaeologist. Good for him. But we are here to get some tablet deciphered, so get to work. The language is a bit too unknown for him, but we get a rough translation nevertheless. Maybe before handing it back over, we should have a read as well. Hold on a second. Bit of a guesswork, but it seems the gods have chosen the desert to seal something powerful, guarded by the dead and traps. And also something about 4 crystals being the key. Crystals do sound valuable. Mr. Smith, I'll be happy to join your legitimate archaeological thingy here. Of course, I wouldn't mind if a few coins had to find a way in my personal way. I mean, if you see my thieving level. Great, with that settled, we should head south to the bandits first to see what they know. Hey, you friendly people who surely would never attack me on sight for anything I'm wearing. Who also will never slaughter thousands of in the near future. This was a weird introduction. Anyway, does any of you happen to know something about 4 crystals? Ah, that piqued the interest. The 4 diamonds of Azanadra. That sounds intriguing. Their leader should be able to tell us more. And more to tell he has. These diamonds appear to be of great value to them. Long ago, the people lived across the lands, protected by the benevolent god. But in the clash of their dominant Tamorak, their god was banished and their empire crumbled. Their greatest hero, Azanadra, was trapped in a stone structure nearby, bound there by great magic, leaving their people struck to this forsaken land. And these 4 diamonds might just be the key to release him from his prison. Each with a different elemental quality: blood, ice, smoke, and shadow, and all of them carried forth by mighty Zamorakian warriors. As luck would have it, they managed to develop a spell to locate these warriors, or rather the diamonds they carry. But without a mighty hero to face the Guardians, this spell is moot. I have a feeling that's where we come in. There surely must be a great reward if we help this ragtag group. To perform this searching spell, we need a few ingredients. A set of bones, ash, charcoal, and blood runes for the spell itself. And scrying mirrors made from steel, molten glass, and magic logs. Magic logs. Level 80 woodcutting. We are 71. What a bummer. Oh well, back to the grind. The lovely maple trees right here at Sears Village are a perfect training spot. And what better spot to hit a level goal than at Runefest? Biggest time skip of the series, I hope, but what a great time. Anyway, safely back at home, it's time to gather some magic logs. Took absolutely no time at all. Jeez. Another peak Runescape questing inventory. Here we go. Stuff. We shall meet him up at a nearby hill. Hey, wait a second. Abolus? And another Abolus. What kind of doppelganger shit is going on here? Okay, that's an issue for another time, I suppose. At last? We talked 15 seconds ago. Anyway, please perform this ritual. Meanwhile, he was busy building a bunch of mirrors. Looking into them should give us a glimpse at the positions where the diamonds are right now, or at least were being held for a considerable amount of time. Alright, let's take a look. A bunch of ice and trolls. Well, that looks like Trollheim to the far north. Pretty good hit so far. Hopefully the rest is equally easily identifiable. Hey, we crashed there a couple of times while failing waterfall quest. Another easy one. Good old Canifus. 3 out of 4, let's keep it rolling. A well by some bandits. Should be somewhat close, I feel. Well, that feels like a bit of a waste. I mean, the pyramid is right over there. And lastly, the camp. Probably won't be able to find one here. Alright, I think that should be enough to get going. Originally, retrieving these diamonds were 4 smaller quests, so let's deal with them one after another. And for the start, we should stay close. This well must be around here somewhere. The mirror should also roughly indicate the directions as well, so to the east we go. Well, that really wasn't far at all. Some foul smoke? It can't hardly stop us. Or maybe it can. Can't see a thing. Ugh. Ah, that's what the Slayer level was for. We can buy this lovely face mask to protect us from the smoke. Now please, clear vision. Hardly did anything, to be honest. But at least no warning while climbing down this time, so I suppose it helps a bit. You there, elemental. Give us a diamond. Fire runes. Well, that's about equally valuable, I suppose. Yo, these things are dust devils? Wild. Well, what do we have here? An interactable object. A torch. Let's bring some light. Don't see anything changed as yet, but maybe there's more. Cages in the distance. Oh, that must be it. It's locked. There must be some way to open it. Another torch. In a different corner of the cave. I see how it is. 4 corners, 4 torches. 3 and 4 and back. Hey, how did we miss this giant room in the middle? Oh well, we're here now. And that's a key. Hopefully quite handy. So, the Marakian warrior, face me. Fareed, quite an imposing sight, but nothing our mighty dragon scimitar cannot handle. Taste steel. What? Our weapon is too hot to wield. Ooh, that's not good. Bail. Alright, I might have a stroke of genius here. We still got some ice gloves from Legends Quest. And maybe as a backup a bit of mage gear, just to be sure. Time for a rematch. Please work, please work. Oh yeah. Now for real. Taste steel. Let's skip 60 seconds of whacking back and forth, and down he goes. First diamond, secured. With a diamond in our inventory, there's a small chance for an assassin to ambush us. I thought we were lucky, as it had never happened once, but watching the footage back, he was actually right there. But a brisk pace of 2 tiles a tick kept him at bay. Hey Evelys, I've got one of your priceless artifacts already. A bit of a lukewarm reaction there, to be honest, buddy. But let's carry on. The next one should be near Ardy. Better go as full mage this time. Who knows if any more weapon restriction shenanigans will pop up. That pretty much matches the vision from the mirror, but I cannot see any dungeon entrance. Maybe this oddfellow here knows something. A quest-specific dialogue? Oh, that's a great start. Well, isn't that convenient? He knows that a shadow diamond is being held here by the fearsome Damus, who is invisible to the naked eye. And he just so happens to have some artifact that lets us see the unseen. This is either the greatest sales pitch since Ali Morrisane, which happened about 2 weeks ago, so not that long ago. Or this is the most convenient NPC since... I cannot think of a good comparison. Please imagine I said something smart. Anyhow, to get this trinket, we need not money, but a gilded cross with some sentimental value to him. It was stolen by a bandit and should be in the camp in the desert. What a coincidence. I'm sure they'll return it if we ask nicely. No option to ask nicely. I suppose we have to do it not so nicely then. By stealing it straight from the chest. We should have a lockpick left over from Legends Quest, so let's do it. Lock 1, 2, and... fail. Oh. And the lockpick broke. Unfortunate, but we can get another from the bandits. Hey buddy, give me a lockpick please. And after slaughtering a few dozens, I even remembered that they were on the thieving drop table. Ah, I am a silly goose sometimes. Sorry about that. There we go, next try. I think we're gonna be here for a while. At least it's giving us a sick beat. Alright, let's try it with more than one at a time. Should cut down on some walking back and forth. I swear I'm not having a good time right now. Finally, at least a couple left for future quests. Here we go, 1 cross. Do not worry, many bandits had to die to retrieve it. Needlessly even. And as a reward, you get a ring to see the unseen. Alright, you cur. Show yourself for real. Stop hiding in this maze of giant skeletons. Ah, there you are. Taste our Domin's might. Oh shit, now it's a serious fight. Better equalize the playing field. Yeah, how do you like that? You're not the only one who can take off his shirt. And just like that, the Shadow Diamond is ours. 2 out of 4. This is going very smooth so far. Wait, no, what I'm talking about isn't going smooth at all. Next diamond. Back to good old Canifest, where the people are friendly and we are a welcome sight. Ignore that. Ooh, cutscene. This basement dweller, Malak, seems to be collecting some taxes from the town. Even in cutscenes, the NPCs keep running around while talking. How odd. Anyhow, Malak immediately sees us as a human. That's not really strange, we aren't trying to hide that or anything. But, as luck would have it, Malak knows something about the Blood Diamond. Apparently, it is in possession of a rival vampire lord, and should this lord fall victim to some unlucky circumstance which may lead to him losing his life, and thus his lands falling over to Malak, well, we might get a diamond richer. I love politics. No worries, Malak. I've done bad deeds for worse people than you. It's a deal. But once again, we have to provide materials for a ritual to weaken this vampire lord first. A special sacrificial offering pot, made out of silver, forged by a former servant of Count Draenor living in the sewers underneath Draenor village. We get that blessed by the monks on Entrana, and then filling that up with garlic, spice, and a little itty bit of blood. Our own blood, of course. A quick trip past some not-so-friendly guests later, and that should be the resting place. Come out, you decrepit old sack. Oh, yo, what? Malak sold his skills short of it. Ooh, that's a sick design by the way. But you are still no match for mighty magical attacks. Hey, where's the diamond? I swear, if this is some kind of prank, I'm probably going to accept it and find a different way, but I will choose a very rude dialogue option. Let me tell you that. Hey, you... well, I accidentally had the spacebar pressed the whole time, so I couldn't read anything. But we got the diamond. I'm sure we said something very, very threatening. 3 out of 4. Now it's going smooth. The final one should be somewhere in Trollheim, far to the north in the snowy regions. This looks familiar, but the gate is frozen solid. Maybe this crying child can help us. He wants some candy. Can't see how that one would help, but sure, we can buy a chocolate bar. There, kid, eat up. Now, can you help us get past this gate? And surprisingly, he can. Apparently, some bad man came here and froze his parents after he found a strange diamond and gave it to them. How convenient. Worry not, we'll retrieve this diamond and maybe even unfreeze your parents along the way. Furthermore, the entrance is blocked by his sadness. As troll sadness causes ice to grow. That's absolutely wild. But okay. Good thing these trolls aren't aggressive. It would have been a rough walk. The cave is also blocked by ice, and these trolls do look mighty sad. I know what will cheer you up. Fire blood. Hey, where's my mage level? Oh damn, all our stats are being drained. Yeah, I better grab some restore potions. Maybe a bit of an unbalanced inventory, but we shall see. Now smile, trolls. Running a bit low on food already. Oh, help. Where's my run energy? Oh, thank goodness. There's the Samarakan warrior already. Time to meet your demise. Why are we completely out of food? Oh, the inventory might have been a bit more unbalanced than I thought. But we are no quitters. Die, fiend. Not even close. Holy shit, there's a second one. Ooh, please don't melee me, please don't melee me, please don't melee me. Stay there. Protection prayer, please. Thanks, Dome and fresh fruit. Oh, yes. But no diamond. We must push on, it seems. Oh, please, not on top of the mountain. We're on a bit of a timer here. The cold does constant damage. Nah, this calls for a tactical retreat. But luckily, we have made it far enough to realize that we need some spike food to go further. Imagine if we had quit 10 meters earlier. Alright, back with a fresh batch of supplies and solid foods. Hopefully the enemies stay defeated this time. Yep, all that here. Now this is quite easy. And that's a troll dad and a troll mom taken care of. Here, child, one set of parents. Now the diamond, please. 4 out of 4. But our stats aren't looking too great. Luckily, I know of a great way to restore that. Thank you, Dev. Very kind. Now, all 4 diamonds, some combat gear, food, and runes. I think we are good to go. Here you are. Now we can free your hero. It might be a little bit late to start thinking about that, but is that even something good? I mean, were you guys against Saradomin? Are we helping the bad guys again? But on the other hand, they are offering powerful rewards. Yeah, okay, well, carry on then, please. Alright, a bit more info. As Anadra was trapped off of here, his power trapped in each of the 4 crystals, returning them to the pyramid should open the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and open! As promised, we have the best both undead and some traps. Yay! Well, they shouldn't have put the exit right next to the entrance as well as giving us the abilities to see through walls. I don't know if this kind of pathing is time appropriate, but I think we found it. Rinse and repeat, and here we are. This must be Asanadra. You look suspiciously evil. Kinda reminded me of these Majorat guys. But a little bit more confused, as he's asking about strange places such as Lazar and Anakal. Not in 2005 you get there, oh no. But at least we'll get a gift for giving him some news of the world. Scarab Swamp? Thanks, I guess. I'm honestly quite confused where that one came from. This wasn't supposed to happen. Anyway, we get a real gift as well. Not just the XP we gained along the way. For our efforts of freeing him, putting it aside for a while whether that was a good idea or not, he grants us some of his ancient magical knowledge, unlocking a completely new spellbook, Ancient Magics. A whole new set of teleports to long-forgotten cities, most only remain as ruins, as well as extremely powerful but costly magic attacks. As a little extra, Eblis sells us an ancient staff, capable of automatically casting these new spells. Prior to evolution of combat, not every weapon could autocast any spellbook, with the ancient staff being the only one for ancient magics. Evolution of combat, along with reworking how magical attacks behave from the ground up, made that obsolete. Well, let's try them out for a bit. I don't have many runes, but as these are our first area attacks, it should be a very good training method for magic in the future. Oh yeah, that looks amazing. You're welcome, by the way, a free-tier hero. That about makes us even, I suppose. Lore-wise, this quest was actually far less revealing than I had remembered. Basically just hinting that the Majorats were somehow colluding with an ancient empire that opposed both Zaradomin and Samarak. I am sure these details will get filled out in a future quest. For now, we leave the 18th of April behind us and take a look at the final desert quest that came out in April of 2005. Around a week later, on the 26th, the desert month concluded with quest number 78, Icthlarins' Little Helper. This quest came with a further area expansion to the south, giving us the sister cities of Sophanem and Menaphos behind those imposing walls. The gates, however, remain closed for now, but this mysterious wanderer may know of a way inside. She sends our cat. How odd. That little thingy has been rotting in our bank ever since we got that in 2003. But if you're so curious to see her, I gladly bring her to you. Here. Why are you acting so strange? Don't talk about my cat if you don't want to see her. Jeez. As a reward for putting her away, the wanderer tells us more about the city of the dead. The dead? Ooh, on second thought, let's not go there. This is a silly place. Ah, false alarm. They just built monuments to their dead. Still, plenty of treasures to loot. And loot we shall soon, as she knows of a secret tunnel into the city. Of course, you trustworthy individual, please show us the way. Huh? Huh? What? How did we get here? We were just outside. Curious. But that must be Sophanem. What a strange place. A ghost staring at us, a green cow walking by. Maybe we shouldn't have come here. And of course, we forgot our ghost speak amulet. Well, who could have seen it coming that it might have been useful in such a place? Maybe we should grab it. We came out of this door, so it must have led us into the city somehow.
Out to the heart of the pyramids.
What's with the voice? Oh well, we should always listen to strange voices in our heads. That has helped us in previous quests already. Look at these moves! Agility grind paying off once again. Oh no, a puzzle. Well, hopefully it's a little bit simpler than the one for Monkey Madness. Wonderful, now... back where we began? Something is not quite right here. Maybe another denizen will be more helpful. Hey, big cat, how's it going? Aside from telling us of a numerous plague that have befallen the city, the Sphinx is dropping some lore as well. The citizens have a pantheon of 4 gods, Tumican and his wife Elidinus, had 2 children, Ictlarin and the Devourer. Gee, I wonder who their favorite was. Anyway, Ictlarin became the god of the dead, to see their souls pass over safely to... that's not really specified here, but I suppose some kind of afterlife. Even the Masharat had worshipped him at some point, though I don't know if it is something good or bad. Meanwhile, the Devourer is a goddess of destruction and eventually turned to destroying human souls. I can see how that would lead to some kind of sibling rivalry. Ictlarin then recruited cats to protect the human souls from the Devourer, and furthermore, charged the Sphinx with protecting the cats from the followers of her, as well as granting her eternal life. Well, this is all well and good, or rather terrifying, but how exactly does this help our current quest, which I don't really know what to do in. What? We've been grave robbing? No way, I only opened some doors, I wouldn't rob a grave, at least not without an incentive. To get further information, the Sphinx makes us solve a short riddle. A husband and a wife have 6 sons. Each son has a daughter. How many people are there? Well, that's easy. I would never choose a wrong answer here because I forgot to count the parents. That would be absurd. So no, for real. I promise I didn't rob any graves. This burial jar of the previous high priest of Sophanem in our inventory? You must have planted it there. I would only steal gold. If I would steal anything, which I didn't, of course. Apparently, we have been under hypnosis and did a few things against our will. Well, that's not too good. To fix our misdeeds, we should speak to a new high priest of this lively town. He's only of little help, urging us to bring the burial jar back. Fine, back past the traps once more. And that's another flashback. Alright, so that's the burial jar we took. Don't interrupt me. So that's the burial jar we took. Well, we can just replace it now. There. All done. Quest completed, please? Not quite. There are still ceremonies to be performed. With the city on lockdown, things have slowed down, so we have to expedite the process with the carpenter and the embalmer. The carpenter just needs some willow logs, while the embalmer needs silk from a local merchant, sap from evergreen tree, and salt. Alright, let's get to it. Sap, willows, salt water which we boil in these fancy mirrors, and lastly, some linen. Hey priest, I've done the prep. Oh, he's already inside the pyramid. Very well. I wonder how this guy made it past these traps. Oh well, another flashback. We hide a symbol of the Devourer somewhere so that she can enter this pyramid at will. We really didn't do too well today. I have to be honest. Guys, this is sort of a setup. You should better leave before... Oh. That was a bit late. And most unexpectedly, it's the Wanderer from outside. Who could have seen that one coming? As all good villains, she immediately leaves again, leaving the job to some unskilled henchman. No worries, we are strong enough to take them down. And done. All rituals performed. Now this plague should stop. Or maybe not, as the priest worries that while we were busy here, some other mindless adventurer was fooled into stealing the burial jar again. Well, this really isn't my problem anymore, so just give me my rewards, please. Yet another flashback. Ooh, Icthlarins. He stopped us on our first visit here, releasing us from the grip of the Devourer, who he reveals is a mascot. Well, thanks to the rework Princess rescue quest, we already had a bit of a run-in with her. But now that also explains why we had the jar and didn't bring it back to her. I doubt this will be the last time we'll deal with her. But until then, I've been glad to have been helpful in partly fixing the mess I made. And our reward is another mighty amulet, allowing us to talk with cats. How neat. In case all of these flashbacks were confusing, the cat also explains the story of his quest. No need for that, you all hopefully paid full attention. And with that, I think it is finally time to leave the desert behind us for quite a while. It won't be until September of 2005 that any meaningful update happens here. Instead, we'll be looking towards the swamps of Mauritania, where the restless dead are stirring in their graves, promising mighty loot that will help us stand strong against future endeavors. But that is something for the next episode. I look forward to seeing you there. Until then, thank you for watching, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye!